in a style of the rhythm like angle me, angle me, angle bang. What a da 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 bang. Angle me, angle me, angle bang.
Hey guys, and welcome back. So today we are going to be talking about finding your photographer and your videographer and tips with that. So let's get started. So I just finished doing my makeup and hair is good. But yes, we are getting ready for our engagement photos. Yay! Who's coming through the door?
Hey doggies. Okay, don't jump, okay? Don't jump, don't jump. Hi, this is Val. And this is Ebony.
So on July 21st, which technically is yesterday from when I'm recording this video, but on July 21st, we had our engagement photo session. Yes! Finally, I was waiting for that. I was very excited for that. So the photographer that we chose, his name is Drew, and I'm going to put his Instagram page right down here so you guys can see it and check him out. We decided to take our engagement photos at the Philbrook Museum. Hopefully I'm saying that right to all the people that are from Tulsa, but the Philbrook Museum. And he met us there. He was so nice. We introduced ourselves and then we started looking around for spots. Unfortunately, where we wanted to take a lot of our photos, it was closed at that time because we took it later in the day, so it wasn't so freaking hot. But I was sweating anyway. But we ended up just, finding this really beautiful door to take it in front of. And he was so great, so down to earth. We were just chatting and he made it really easy, kind of telling us which poses to be in and which direction to look and whether we need to be smiling or putting on a serious face, which I am terrible at. I am not good at putting on that like serious face and making it look like sexy and great, but tried it anyway. But he really helped us, and then he actually found out that we are originally from New York and moved here. So when he heard that, he really wanted to take some shots in New York. So we're going to be going back, and he wants to do a whole another session with us in New York and hit up a bunch of places, which is really cool, and he's not charging us extra for that. So it's really cool, and we're really excited for that. So let's start off with our tip number 1. Find somebody that does full coverage. Now, I know some people are having weddings that are only like 5 hours or 6 hours because their venue has a time limit on when they need to be out of the actual venue. In New York, that was something that we faced, is that most venues, they were giving us about a 5-hour block time, 5 or 6. So when we got here and we were looking at venues here in Tulsa, the Silo, which is the venue that we chose, we have the venue from 10 a.m. to midnight, which is friggin' amazing. And if I'm paying the money, I want to take advantage of all that. I wanted to find a photographer and a videographer that had this thing called full coverage, which is your first tip that I gave you. Now, full coverage means that they are there from the time that you are there till the time that you leave, and they cover everything in between, and I didn't want any parts missed. Tip number 2, find a business that is a smaller business. What's really important about supporting those small businesses is because those small businesses care a little bit more than bigger corporation. What really made me want to do that is that my best friend, she actually just started her own wedding videography company. I will put her stuff right here if you want to check her out for all the people in Florida. She is so great at what she does, and usually people that are starting off or have those like smaller businesses, they are a little bit more affordable and they are more invested in what you want and in your wedding, and will really take the time and care to make it something that you will never forget. Your tip number 3 is to find something within your budget. Now, we covered that in my first video, which was setting the budget of what your wedding is going to be, but it's also important to see how much you want to allocate to your photography and your videography. For our photography and our videography, we didn't want to go over $3,500. Now I know that sounds like a lot, but unfortunately, guys, like I said before, weddings are expensive. $3,500, that is not enough, but it is enough. And you can find awesome people that do it just as well as somebody that's charging you $9,000. Tip number 4. Use social media to find these people. You will find some pretty incredible people for amazing prices just by using social media. I went to Instagram and I went to the hashtag search bar and I just hashtag Tulsa photography. And all the people that use that hashtag, all the photographers that use that hashtag, a bunch of pictures came up. I just went through all those photographers. I DM'd them, telling them kind of what I want. Keywords, I'm looking for something full coverage and within this price range. I gave this tip before. Make sure you try to negotiate with what you want and what you don't want and see if you can get those costs down. I didn't need a video that was 5 to 8 minutes long. I just wanted a video that was 3 to 4 minutes max. Since I'm only doing 3 to 4 minutes instead of like 6 to 8, can I get an extra 2 hours within that price? And just doing that type of negotiation, and that also helps get my costs down. So I would make those negotiations with any photographers that I was looking at or any videographers. So the next tip that I'm going to give you guys is to have a bunch of options. So don't find just 4 or 5 videographers or photographers that you like. I had over 10. And what's really important about that is you start to see a pattern with what photographers and videographers offer you. Some people will try to take advantage of you not knowing a lot about photography and videography. So they'll say, oh, for all this work, the minimum that people charge is $3,000 if you want that amount done and blah, 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 blah. But if you have a lot of options, you can clearly see that you're finding people in the price range that you want with amazing quality, and you necessarily don't have to go over your budget. So the last tip I'm going to give you about looking for a photographer and a videographer is to find someone that you're comfortable with. Yes, I know how that sounds. You've never met them, Kayla. Neither has Nate. How do you know you're going to be comfortable with them? So are you comfortable with people that are older than you? Or do you like somebody that's kind of in your age range? Or maybe even somebody that's a little bit younger? Are you more comfortable with a girl? Are you more comfortable with a boy? What I was searching for was someone in our age range. Like, I didn't really care if they were a girl or if they were a boy. So we felt so comfortable when we were taking these photos. Even our initial meeting, like, you know, his spirit and his energy, it just made us more comfortable, and then he made the whole process really comfortable for us. Again, his name is Drew, and I'm going to put his stuff down here for our photographer. Look who came to join us. What did you think of our photographer?
He was nice, he was funny, he was easy to relax around, which was like really important for you and I because we're not good at taking photos.
That was one of my tips. Okay, find someone you're comfortable with. Do you have any additional tips for the people about finding your photographer or videographer?
I mean, it's important to ask like what they include with their packages and what they're going to give. So Kayla like really stressed asking them what exactly comes with it, what's in the contract, and I don't know everyone's experience, but just in the last like 24 months, 12 months, we've had like bad contract experiences. So
we'll save that for another video.
So this was really important for us. Like we had learned our lesson, and she like made sure being very specific, and if they said they were going to include something, she was like, I want it in the contract, I would like it in writing. And then obviously looking at their portfolios. A lot of them don't have like structured portfolios on their website, so they go through their Instagrams. So I would,
another one of my tips, guys.
Yeah, so I'd go through Instagrams, and you can look at hashtags like wedding photographer and stuff, and then you'll find people, and you can look in your area. If you do like hashtag your city and then add a second hashtag, it'll be easier to find people.
So he's just giving a quick synopsis of what we talked about in this whole video.
Everything else will just kind of be your taste and what you're looking for.
But yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And my brother, he did kind of like the behind the scenes videos that I put in before, so you can kind of see our outfits and what we chose. And I will insert some pictures here because we took some pictures afterwards because it was a beautiful sunset. I already have an idea of what we're going to talk about in the next video, but you're going to have to wait and see. Well, thanks again for joining me. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.
Call my dad again.
Hey, look at that sunset. He's so pretty.
That one over there? No.
And that's a wrap. We finished. How'd you do?
I was excellent.
You were excellent.